California Driver's Permit Test 2026 DMV. Written Practice Exam. Flashcard 1. It is illegal for a person 21 years of age or older to drive with a blood alcohol concentration that is blank or higher. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is 0.08%, 0.08%. Flashcard 2. You must notify DMV within 5 days if you think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is sell or transfer your vehicle. Flashcard 3. To turn left from a one-way street onto a one-way street, start from a think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the lane closest to the left curb. Flashcard 4. When is it legal to use a cell phone without a hands-free device while driving? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is when making a call for emergency assistance. Flashcard 5. When you see this yellow sign, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is be prepared to stop if children are in the crosswalk. Flashcard 6. When a traffic signal light isn't working at an intersection, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is come to a complete stop, then proceed when it is safe. Flashcard 7. To be sure a lane is clear before you change lanes, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is look over your shoulder into the lane you want to enter. Flashcard 8. Which of these statements is true about driving and taking medications? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is most cold medications can make a person drowsy. Flashcard 9. Which of the following is true about large trucks? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is trucks often appear to travel slower because of their large size. Flashcard 10. Instructions from school crossing guards must be obeyed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is at all times. Flashcard 11. Smoking inside a vehicle when a person is younger than 18 years of age is present is. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is illegal at all times. Flashcard 12. When you change lanes or merge with another lane, you think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is need at least a 4-second gap in traffic. Flashcard 13. Which statement is true about motorcyclists and motorists? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is motorcyclists have the same rights/responsibilities as other motorists. Flashcard 14. The red and white sign means you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is give the right of way to traffic on the road you wish to enter or cross. Flashcard 15. If you have a green light, but traffic is blocking the intersection, think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is stay out of the intersection until traffic clears. Flashcard 16. You must make a written report to Traffic Accident SR1 to DMV if you think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is are involved in an accident and there is more than $750 in damages. Flashcard 17. You are getting ready to make a right turn, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is signal during the last 100 feet before you turn. Flashlight 18. Cargo extending more than 4 feet from your rear bumper. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, must be marked with a red flag or lights. Flashlight 19. Your wheels should be pointed straight ahead unless you are. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, parked on a hill or sloping driveway. Flashlight 20. You are on a two-way road and the vehicle ahead of you is turning left into a driveway. You may legally pass the vehicle on the right. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, if there is enough road between the curb and the vehicle. Flashlight 21. The speed limit in any alley is. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is 20 mph. Flashlight 22. A peace officer is signaling you to drive to the edge of the road where you decide to ignore the officer's warning and flee the scene. You are guilty of a misdemeanor and can be punished by being. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is jailed in a county for not more than 1 year. Flashlight 23. You should adjust your rear view and side mirrors. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is before you start driving. Flashlight 24. You should stop before crossing railroad tracks. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, any time a train may be approaching whether or not you can see it. Flashlight 25. If there is a deep puddle in the road ahead, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, steer your vehicle around the water, if possible. Flashlight 26. When driving in fog, snow, rain, you should use your. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, low beam headlights. Flashlight 27. Which of these statements is true about child passengers? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, children under age 1 should not ride in the front seat in airbag-equipped vehicles. Flashlight 28. The yellow sign means. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, look, listen, and prepare to stop at the crossing if necessary. Flashlight 29. You are required to wear your safety belt in a moving vehicle unless. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, the vehicle is not equipped with safety belts. Flashlight 30. All of the following are dangerous while driving, which is also illegal. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, wearing a headset that covers both ears. Flashlight 31. A pedestrian who is blind or visually impaired uses traffic sounds before deciding to cross the street. If you see a pedestrian with a guide dog or white cane waiting to cross at a corner, you should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, pull up to the crosswalk so the person can hear your engine. Flashlight 32. You are driving in the far right lane of a four-lane freeway and notice broken white lines on the left side of your lane. You are driving in. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is, an exit lane. Flashlight 33. The speed limit for a school zone where children are present is blank unless otherwise is posted. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is 25 mph. Flashlight 34. Two vehicles are approaching an uncontrolled T intersection. One vehicle is on the through road and the other is on the road that ends. Who has the right of way at the intersection? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is the vehicle on the through road. Flashcard 35. You are crossing an intersection, and an emergency vehicle is approaching with a siren and flashing lights. You should think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. Flashcard 36. For which of the following traffic lights must you always stop your vehicle? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is solid red lights, flashing red lights, and blackout traffic signals. Flashcard 37. Broken yellow lines mean think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is passing is allowed if done safely. Flashcard 38. A traffic signal with a flashing yellow arrow means think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is proceed with caution. Flashcard 39. What is the use of the special turnout areas marked on a two-lane road? A. To allow vehicles to make a U-turn. B. To allow vehicles behind the driver to pass. C. To allow vehicles to make a left turn. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 40. When two vehicles meet on a steep mountain road where neither can pass, which vehicle has the right of way? A. Both. B. The vehicle which comes first. C. The vehicle traveling downhill. D. The vehicle traveling uphill. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 41. When you see this sign, you should A. Accelerate to merge with traffic. B. Yield to traffic and pedestrians on the through road. C. Make a sharp turn to match the speed of the traffic on the highway. D. Not enter the highway road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 42. This warning sign represents A. Beginning of a two-way lane. B. Beginning of a divided highway. C. Ending of a divided highway. D. Beginning of a one-way lane. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 43. Left turns at a red light can only be made from a two-way street onto a one-way street. B. One-way street onto a two-way street. C. One-way street onto a one-way street. D. Two-way street onto a two-way street. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 44. Two sets of solid, double, yellow lines spaced 2 or more feet apart indicate a two-way traffic. B. A barrier. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 45. If you are having vehicle trouble, first thing you should do is A. Pull off the road and away from traffic. B. Lift the hood to signal an emergency. C. Check your driver's manual for help. D. Stop your vehicle over a hill or just around a curve for visibility. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 46. This sign warns the driver that it is A. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is winding road. Flashcard 47. A driver who is involved in a collision should report it to the DMV within A. 20 days. B. 15 days. C. 10 days. D. 30 days. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 48. Disabled people with their placard can park at a blank painted curb. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is blue. Flashcard 49. If a bicycle on your right reaches the intersection at the same time as you do, you should A. Move slowly along with the bicycle. B. Request the bicyclist to change lanes. C. Move because you have the right of way. D. Yield to the bicycle. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 50. The maximum speed limit for vehicles towing trailers is blank on a two-lane undivided highway. A. 55 mph. B. 70 mph. C. 65 mph. D. 60 mph. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 51. To avoid tailgating, one should follow the A. 6-second rule. B. 2-second rule. C. 4-second rule. D. 3-second rule. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 52. This sign indicates think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is yield. Flashcard 53. The first step a driver should do during an enforcement stop is A. Turn on the right, turn signal. B. Turn on the left, turn signal. C. Stop on the left shoulder of the freeway. D. Stop on the center median of a freeway. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 54. If you are in an intersection and hear the siren of an emergency vehicle, you should A. Move to the left and stop in the intersection. B. Move to the right and stop in the intersection. C. Continue through the intersection. Then drive to the left and stop. D. Continue through the intersection. Then drive to the right and stop. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 55. When drivers see livestock, they should A. Turn safely away from these animals. B. Signal the person in charge of these animals to move right. C. Follow directions from the person in charge of these animals. D. Blow the horn continuously until the animals cross the road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 56. When you want to enter a freeway, you should A. Enter the freeway at or near the speed of the freeway traffic. B. Stop before merging into freeway traffic. C. Enter the freeway with a minimum speed. D. Stop and yield to the traffic in the freeway. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 57. At an unmarked crosswalk, drivers are required to A. Increase the speed of their vehicle and cross before the pedestrians. B. Stop and request the pedestrians to cross quickly. C. Signal their intention and proceed. D. Yield the right of way to the pedestrians. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 58. A blank sign on a truck means that the load on the truck is potentially dangerous. A diamond-shaped. B. Red inverted triangle. C. White rectangle-shaped. D. Octagon-shaped. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 59. While driving in the fog, you should use A. Low beam lights. B. High beam lights. C. Parking lights. D. Emergency flashing lights. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 60. A child under the age of 8 years blank when all the rear seats are already occupied by children under the age of 7 years. A. May be kept on the lap of the elder child with a seatbelt fastened to both. B. May ride in the front seat without a seatbelt. C. May ride in the front seat of a vehicle. D. Should be kept at home. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 61. You must use your headlights blank after sunset. A. 30 minutes. B. 15 minutes. C. 20 minutes. D. Immediately. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 62. If you litter on the roadside, you are subjected to a fine of the A. $18.50. $500. D. $600. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 63. A driver who is a minor receives a phone call on his/her cell phone. He/she should A. Use a hands-free cell phone to answer the call. B. Answer the call in an emergency. C. Not answer the call. D. Not be carrying a cell phone while driving. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 64. What does this warning sign mean? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is stop sign ahead. Flashcard 65. Use blank steering when correcting a skin. A. Hand by hand. B. Hand over hand. C. One hand. D. Push-pull. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 66. This sign represents think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a school zone. Flashcard 67. Before passing another vehicle. A. Pass on the left if the driver is signaling a left turn. B. Look ahead for road conditions and traffic. C. Drive off the paved or main traveled portion of the road. D. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 68. This regulatory sign represents think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is no U-turn. Flashcard 69. Locked wheel skids are usually caused by A. Braking too hard at a high speed. B. Leaking motor oil. C. Pressing the gas and brake pedals at the same time. D. Ignition turned to the lock position while the vehicle is still in motion. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 70. What does this sign mean? A. You are approaching an airport. B. Airplanes fly in this direction. C. Airplanes fly at low heights in this zone. D. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 71. A driver in front of you is signaling with hand and arm pointing upwards, which means the driver wants to A. Slow down. B. Stop. C. Turn left. D. Turn right. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 72. If your parked car rolls away and hits another vehicle, you should A. Get the other vehicle repaired. B. Sound horn to attract attention. C. Remove your car and go on your way. D. Report the incident to city police. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 73. If your vehicle starts to hydroplane, you should A. Change the steering. B. Press down on your accelerating pedal C. Apply the brakes D. Slow down gradually. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 74. A person under the age of 21 years A must have 0 blood alcohol content B. Can have a 0.08% blood alcohol content C. Can have a 0.04% blood alcohol content D. Can have a 0.02% blood alcohol content. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 75. In a roundabout, a driver must drive in a clockwise direction B. The direction of oncoming vehicles C. A counterclockwise direction D. Any direction. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 76. If a car approaches you with bright headlights, you must blank to prevent being temporarily blinded A. Look toward the right edge of the road B. Look at the driver of the opposite vehicle C. Look toward the left edge of the road D. Look at the center of the road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 77. When there are 3 or more lanes going in one direction on a highway, vehicles passing others or turning left should use the middle lane B, the right lane C, the deceleration lane D, the left lane. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 78. When parking and leaving your vehicle on a highway or a street, which of the following is not recommended? A. Locking the ignition B. Lowering the windows C. Setting the brakes D. Stopping the engine. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 79. This arrow sign means A. Merge left B. Go straight C. Do not turn left or go straight D. Turn left or go straight. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 80. If you plan to turn beyond an intersection, you must A. Signal before passing through the intersection B. Signal just after you pass through the intersection C. Signal just before making a turn D. Not give any turn signal. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 81. When passing other traffic on a 2-lane road A. Avoid passing other vehicles on 2-lane roads. It is dangerous B. Do not pull out to pass unless you know you have enough space to pull back C. Always signal before passing D. All of these answers are correct. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 82. When turning left from a one-way road to another one-way road A. Bring your vehicle into the nearest left lane for traffic on the road you are entering B. Bring your vehicle into the nearest right lane for traffic on the road you are entering C. Turn into the lane just to the right of the center line D. Turn into the lane just to the left of the center line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 83. What should you do if another driver tailgates your vehicle? A. Raise your speed B. Pull over to the side to allow the driver to pass C. You must not allow the tailgater to pass you D. Encourage the tailgater. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 84. The first rule of a safe and legal turn is A. To move into the proper lane well before the turn B. To cut corners while turning C. To increase the speed D. To reduce the speed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 85. Which of the following is not a safe situation for passing? A. When pavement markings are broken white lines. B. When pavement markings are broken yellow lines. C. When moving through an intersection. D. When the vehicle ahead is moving below the safe speed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 86. What does this arrow mark sign indicate? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is go only straight. Flashcard 87. Which of the following statements is not true regarding the use of headlights? A. Low beams are used in city driving and driving in traffic on roadways. B. High beams are used when traveling behind other vehicles. C. Low beams are used when traveling in fog, rain, or snow. D. High beams are used for open country driving when there is no traffic in sight. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 88. Blank are the most likely places for car and motorcycle collisions to occur. A. Intersections. B. Expressways. C. One-way roads. D. Roundabouts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashcard 89. Lanes of traffic going in opposite directions are divided by A. White lane dividers. B. Yellow lane dividers. C. Black lane dividers. D. Red lane dividers. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 90. High occupancy vehicles HOV lanes are reserved for A. Emergency vehicles. B. Farm machinery vehicles and trucks. C. Carpools and vehicles with more than one person. D. Heavy goods vehicles with less than 3 persons. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 91. Following too closely behind a vehicle is also known as A. Aggressive driving. B. Defensive driving. C. Side gating. D. Tailgating. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 92. You must use high beam lighting in all of following situations, except A. In construction areas. B. In fog, snow, or heavy rain. C. When there may be people along the side of the road. D. On unfamiliar roads. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashcard 93. What should you do if you are overtaking a bicycle and an oncoming vehicle is approaching at the same time? A. You should leave a little room to the oncoming vehicle while overtaking the bicycle. B. You must overtake the bicycle first to give extra room to the oncoming vehicle. C. You must slow down and let the vehicle pass first to give extra room to the bicycle. D. You must sound your horn to alert the bicyclist. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashcard 94. This posted sign is a slash and think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is speed limit on highways. Flashcard 95. Blind pedestrians may carry blank canes or use the assistance of guide dogs. A. Red. B. Black. C. Green. D. White. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashcard 96. When you see a yield sign on your way or at an intersection, you must A. Slow down to a reasonable speed and yield right-of-way to all vehicles B. Not proceed through the road or intersection C. Slow down and change your lane position D. Slow down and take a detour. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashart 97. The wide white line painted across a traffic lane before you enter the intersection is known as a merge line B, yield line C, crosswalk line D, limit line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashart 98. A yield sign indicates that a driver must slow down when approaching an intersection, and blank if a vehicle or pedestrian with the right-of-way is approaching from another direction. A. Be prepared to make a turn. B. Be prepared to come to a complete stop. C. Be prepared to increase the speed. D. Be prepared to make a U-turn. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashart 99. What does this sign mean? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is a disabled parking permit. Flashart 100. If a tire suddenly goes flat while driving, you must A. Try to increase the speed to control your vehicle. B. Try to move to the left side of the road. C. Try to stop your vehicle on the road. D. Hold the steering wheel tightly and keep the vehicle straight. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashart 101. A center lane between lanes of traffic traveling in opposite directions may be designated for A. Left turns only. B. Right turns only. C. Passing. D. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashart 102. Before backing up your vehicle, you should look to the front, sides, and rear, and continue to look blank while backing to the front. B. Into the side mirror. C. To the sides. D. To the rear. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashart 102. If you approach a roundabout, always enter to the blank of the central island. A. Left. B. Center. C. Corner. D. Right. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashart 104. Large electronic flashing arrow panels may be used in work zones day and night to A. Divert drivers into work zones. B. Stop speeding drivers. C. Guide drivers into certain parking zones. D. Guide drivers into certain traffic lanes. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashart 105. To turn left from a one-way street to another, a driver must begin a turn A. From the right lane and make the turn close to the left curb. B. From the right lane and make the turn close to the right curb. C. From the left lane and make the turn close to the left curb. D. From the left lane and make the turn close to the right curb. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashart 106. Before reaching the crest of a hill or entering a curve, you must blank and watch for oncoming vehicles. A. Slow down. Move to the right side of the road. B. Slow down. Move to the left side of the road. C. Speed up. Turn on the headlights. D. Speed up. Change gears. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashart 107. When should you yield to another driver at an intersection? A. If the driver is just starting to enter the intersection. B. If the driver is to your right and reaches the intersection at the same time as you do. C. If the driver reaches the intersection before you. D. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashlight on it. A vehicle's stopping distance is equal to A, the braking distance, plus reaction distance, B, the braking distance, C, the braking distance plus following distance, D, the reaction distance plus following distance. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashlight on 9. If you are approaching a stop sign, you must A. Stop at the broken yellow stop line, B. Stop at the solid white limit line, C. Stop at the broken white limit line, D. Stop at the edge of the road. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Flashlight item 10. All regulatory devices on the road instruct you A. of hazardous conditions or the possibility of hazardous conditions, B. in finding your way safely or provide information to make your trip more comfortable, C. to stop, proceed in a certain direction, or limit your speed, D. None of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Flashlight 111. When should you switch on your high beam headlights? A. When driving in open country or on dark city streets, B. At night when it rains, C. Always at night, D. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flashlight 112. When you turn from a high-speed two-lane roadway, blank if you have traffic following you, A. Try to quickly slow down your vehicle, B. Try to increase the speed of your vehicle, C. Try to apply brakes and keep the steering steady, D. Try not to slow down your vehicle too quickly. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flashlight audio open. A single solid white line across a road at an intersection means that a motorist must blank for a traffic signal or sign, A. Cross the line, B. Slow down after crossing the line, C. Stop after the line, D. Stop behind the line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D.